Alright guys, I think we should check in on the modern audience, the wonderful, diverse, and inclusive video game developers that are making these games for this imaginary audience that we all know does not exist. So, Flintlock, which I feel like came out, a couple months ago now, is pretty much a dead game. Now, of course, we don't have the numbers for console because they don't share that information, but if you look over on Steam, this game is pretty much a corpse. It's on Lifeline at this point. It's just not doing well. So, that being said, 11 people playing it, only peaked at 648 last month. So, just never really developed the audience that they thought they could somehow capitalize on by marketing it as one of these wonderfully diverse and woke games. Of course, another one that has just recently come out the same day as Black Myth Wukong was this Dustborn game. A game that is obviously probably not for me, it's not for most of us. It was intentionally made for this tiny niche audience, which, hey, more power to you, but don't expect these people to actually buy it because they don't spend their own money. So, of course, Cabrutus pointed out that this is the most cringe opening I've ever seen in a video game. Did they suggest that people who don't want politics in their entertainment are, quote, fascists? Now, of course, I'm going to play a little clip of it here because I haven't actually played this in a video. I've experienced this multiple times. I feel like we should all suffer together. I'm just going to play this for like 30 seconds. That's probably enough, honestly. I don't want to make you guys have trauma or any sort of like PTSD later on. But yeah, you get it. It's this crazy looking diverse cast of misfits talking about how they're the Dustborn, they're the new kind, and they're replacing you, whatever. So poor Savvy Artist, she actually played this for 7 hours, says she gave it a fair shot. Most painful thing she's ever suffered through. Real tax dollars funded this game, and I feel like every person should be able to sue the government for it. And of course, she's referring to the fact that I think it was a Norwegian company that made this game, and it was basically subsidized by the government. So yeah, their government actually created this freaking hot mess of a game. And of course, this game was also pretty much dead on arrival. It peaked at 83 people playing it. The same 30 people that were playing it an hour ago are still playing it, so again, non-existent audience. Well, now we need to fast forward to Concord, a game that is coming out tomorrow. Now, Concord, I was really hoping to have some Steam numbers for you guys. Unfortunately, the game is just not the Steam record. The Steam players are not being tracked as of yet. For some weird reason, this game went into early access 3 days ago, and the Steam numbers just aren't showing up. So that'll have to be in a later video for you guys. I'm sure by the time this video comes out in the morning, you guys will all have seen maybe Yellow Flash covering it or whatnot. The numbers are going to be bad. I don't know what to expect. I would imagine less than 10,000 people total playing it based on what we saw from the closed beta, from the open beta. And remember, they lost players between the closed and open beta. So when the game was available to everybody to play, less people played it. Absolutely abysmal stuff. And of course, I just saw this a couple days ago from Endymion saying, one of my patrons informed me that GameStop is offering Concord if you trade in one game worth $25 in value. They would only be doing this if the game pre-orders are abysmal and it's not selling ahead of launch. The game launches next week, it's going to bomb. So again, if this is true, GameStop essentially is saying, look, if you give us anything of a certain value, we're just going to give you this game for free because screw it, why not? John Delarose pointed out earlier, I see Concord is looking to fail with LGBTQ as the first tag for the video game. Now, what's crazy is I hadn't actually realized this. I had to go see if this was real for myself. So I went and looked. And sure enough, if you go to the Steam Concord page, it says right here in the popular user-defined tags for this product, before FPS, before shooter, before anything else, it says LGBTQ+, then action, then political. Now, again, maybe these are all randomized. I'm not sure. All I know is when I went to this page, those are the first ones that pop up in that order, and they have not changed. So, I mean, is that intentional? I can only imagine. Now, the craziest part of this entire saga that I can't even wrap my brain around is it has now come out today that this game, we thought it took about 4 or 5 years to develop because this is the first game, the debut game for Firewalk Studios, and you know that's a big deal. You want to have you can only have your opening game, opening day release one time, and that's going to make or break the game. Typically, there are some that come back and have a better, resurgence of players. This game though is not going to have that, unfortunately. And again, 8 years to create this hot mess of a DEI-infested game. So this article from that Park Place says Concord lead character designer claims developers are strapped in and ready to push it for years to come. Now this is just the cognitive dissonance kicking in with these people. John Wisniewski, the lead character designer for Firewalk Studios Concord, attempted to sell the game by claiming he and the development team are strapped in and ready to push it for years to come. There will not be a future for this game. This game will be shut down within 2 years, maybe 1. Wisniewski touted the game, stating, Concord has so much humanity and depth to it. I really hope people give it a shot. He said, I'm insanely proud of the game. We're strapped in and ready to push it for years to come. What is there to be proud of? I mean, I'm asking honestly. Can you guys give me an honest answer other than maybe some of the gameplay mechanics, maybe some of the visuals? Again, I'm not a big fan of the graphics, whatever, but that's not for me. Whatever, that's fine. Everybody likes different styles in games. Other than that, what is there about this game that's to love? Everyone's saying it's like Walmart, Overwatch. So what exactly is it that he's proud of? The article goes on to say it's unlikely the game will be around for years to come, given the game's concurrent player counts during its early access beta and open beta, where players were able to play the game for free before it hits the market for $40, and the early access beta only had a peak concurrent player count of 1,124. So maybe I'm being generous with the 10,000 player number. I'm just saying because of the fact that there's a lot of people who maybe they're going to buy the game on launch day, maybe they're going to pre-order it and just not bother with the beta. Who knows? I have no idea what the numbers are going to look like for sure, but I imagine they are not going to be impressive numbers given the fact that this was a game that took 8 years to develop. Do you realize how expensive that is? How much money you have to spend on a game to take 8 years to develop, even if it's a small team? That's insane, guys. And of course, the player reaction from everybody who's been saying either it's not good enough, I don't mind the characters, but this has already been done. It takes pieces from other games that are better, and it tries to borrow from them, and it just doesn't execute those as well. There's many things to complain about this game for. Honestly, I don't know of anybody who truly thinks that it does any one thing exceptionally well. And again, when I go check, the early access numbers are still not showing up. We still don't have any player numbers. So I'm not sure if the game even went live at 9 p.m. my time. That was an hour ago, but we still don't see any new data. All you can see, though, is if you go over to Twitch, and this is a pretty good indicator of how games are going to do. Currently, right now, if I refresh the page, there are only 76 people watching people play Concord in the early access beta, or early access mode, I should say, with 2.5 thousand people following the game. That is less than no interest. And Twitch is, of all places, one of the most woke, Gen Z-filled hellholes on the planet when it comes to the internet, where this should be their target audience. People on Twitch love watching Valorant, they love Overwatch, they love anything exceptionally woke. There's no interest in this game. And unfortunately for these developers, whether they had a good intention or not, or they developed a good product or not, they gave it a terrible skin, a terrible paint job, and tried to sell it as something that nobody wanted. So I'm going to leave it right there, guys. Let me know what you think about all this. I'm dying to see the numbers first thing in the morning. I'm going to wake up and check them as soon as I wake up. But that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I will catch you later. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.